I have a lovely, lovely penthouse. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Back, how does it all add up for you? What do you make of your life?
Well, some ghastly mistakes. No, like everybody, I'd do anything to have it all over again. And it would be totally different.
In what respect?
Well, obviously my marriages, although my first husband and I are now very good friends. I wouldn't change much, really.
You're the Colosseum, you're the top, you're the Louvre Museum, you're a melody from a symphony by Strauss, you're a smile on the Mona Lisa. I'm a worthless check, a total wreck, a flop.
Margaret Campbell, the Duchess of Argyll, kept a hidden compartment in her London residence that held secrets capable of toppling empires, or at least one aristocratic marriage. When her spouse finally forced his way in, what he uncovered sent shockwaves through high society and beyond. Margaret Wigham's early years were a blueprint for her wild later life. The daughter of a wealthy Scottish industrialist, she spent her childhood in the glitz of New York City, rubbing shoulders with the elite at top-tier private academies. Surrounded by future tycoons and socialites, she seemed destined for grandeur. Yet from her teens, controversy clung to her like perfume. At just 15, her stunning looks, perhaps inherited from her Celtic roots, had gentlemen falling at her feet. And Margaret? She reveled in the spotlight, turning heads and sparking whispers wherever she went. Back in the summer of 1928, while vacationing on the Isle of Wight, Margaret crossed paths with a charming 18-year-old named David Niven, who would one day light up silver screens as a suave Hollywood star. With guardians distracted by seaside leisure, the pair seized the moment for some youthful indiscretions. Their fling, straight out of a steamy novel, marked Margaret's first romantic encounter. But fate had a cruel twist. She ended up expecting. In an era where unwed pregnancy spelled social ruin, panic set in. Confessing to her parents unleashed a storm of fury, especially from her father. Once the dust settled, they whisked her off to a discreet London clinic for a covert procedure to end it. The affair stayed buried so deep that even in her 1975 autobiography, Forget Not, Margaret omitted it entirely, as if erasing it from history. Fast forward 2 years to 1930, and Margaret made her grand entrance into society as a debutante at court, a formal announcement that she was on the marriage market. Her allure had only intensified, earning her the title of Debutante of the Year and a swarm of admirers. But options aplenty often breed chaos, and Margaret's private antics fueled gossip mills. While playing the part of the eligible lady, she dabbled in risque romances with figures like the charismatic Prince Ali Khan, who lavished her with luxuries, and the thrill-seeking aviator Glenn Kidston. Kidston, married with a child, was a risky choice, but Margaret plunged in regardless, earning comparisons to a modern-day siren whose beauty launched 1,000 scandals. Tragedy struck in May 1931 when Kidston's plane disintegrated in a brutal dust storm over Africa, claiming his life. Shattered, Margaret coped poorly, leaping into engagements with 2 suitors at once, the affluent Charles Greville, Earl of Warwick, and media scion Max Aitken. In a whirlwind twist, she jilted both for American businessman and golf enthusiast Charles Sweeny. Their union seemed promising, but fertility woes haunted them. After enduring 8 miscarriages, a stillborn daughter in 1933 crushed her spirit. Yet perseverance paid off. By 1940, they welcomed a daughter, Frances, and a son, Brian. These trials, however, etched deep emotional wounds that lingered.
I'm not prepared to say, because he was married then. Well, you don't have to keep repeating it.
Would it lead your life?
No, not at all.
You think that all publicity has been good publicity?
Oh, goodness, no, I've had the most ghastly publicity in the world.
Life took another dark turn in 1943. While at a doctor's appointment on London's Bond Street, Margaret plummeted 40 feet down an elevator shaft in a bizarre mishap. Miraculously surviving with injuries, including shredded fingernails from clutching cables and a head wound needing 33 stitches, she emerged altered. Her husband later swore the accident amplified her impulsive streak, perhaps triggering a shift toward more uninhibited behavior. Modern experts speculate it could have caused a traumatic brain injury, explaining her increasingly bold personality, though back then it was dismissed as eccentricity. Post-recovery, Margaret's romantic entanglements escalated. She broke off a betrothal to Texas financier Joe Thomas and flirted with Metropolitan Museum curator Theodore Rousseau. These were mere preludes to her fateful meeting with Ian Campbell, the brooding 11th Duke of Argyll. A Scottish noble with a haunted gaze and a dilapidated Inveraray Castle, he exuded dark allure. Despite his baggage, 2 failed marriages marred by abuse claims, wartime PTSD from German POW camps, and addictions to alcohol, gambling, and pills, Margaret was smitten. Ignoring red flags, she divorced Sweeny and wed the Duke in 1951, ascending to Duchess status amid fanfare. The fairy tale soured swiftly. The Duke treated her as a financial lifeline, draining her fortune to revive his castle. Margaret, sensing the trap, retaliated with schemes like forging documents to question the legitimacy of his sons from prior unions, aiming to secure her position. Desperate for an heir, she even contemplated adopting a child from a dubious source to claim as their own, a plan as baffling as it was bold. Tensions boiled over as the Duke grew paranoid about her fidelity. By the late 1950s, suspicions peaked. He bugged her car for surveillance, but that paled next to his ultimate invasion, hiring a locksmith to crack open her private drawer while she was abroad. Inside lay explosive Polaroids, intimate shots of Margaret, nude save for her signature 3-strand pearl necklace, engaging in explicit acts with unidentified men whose heads were cropped out. These Headless Man images, as they became known, fueled the Duke's rage. He filed for divorce in 1963, alleging she'd bedded 88 lovers during their marriage, submitting the photos as proof. Margaret fired back, accusing him of an affair with her stepmother, Louise Timpson, formerly Wigham. But lacking witnesses, her claim fizzled. The trial dragged on for 4 years, captivating the public and earning her the moniker Dirty Duchess. Tabloids obsessed over the Headless Man's identity, fingering suspects like British Defence Minister Duncan Sandys, Winston Churchill's son-in-law, who offered to resign amid the furor, and actor Douglas Fairbanks Jr., whose handwriting allegedly matched notes on the photos. Fairbanks denied it vehemently, and Margaret never named names, protecting her paramours even as her reputation crumbled. Recent historians, including those cited in a 2024 Daily Mail investigation, lean toward Sandys as the prime candidate, based on forensic analysis of the images and contemporary memos. Others stick with Fairbanks, keeping the mystery alive. The Conservative judge, Lord Denning, delivered a scathing verdict, branding her a completely promiscuous woman and granting the divorce on grounds of adultery. Society shunned her, but in today's lens, highlighted in a 2024 ABC News feature, she's reframed as an early victim of revenge porn, her private images weaponized against her in a misogynistic era. Post-divorce, Margaret capitalized on her notoriety, offering paid tours of her Grosvenor Street home, the scandal's ground zero. Financial woes mounted. She downgraded from luxury hotels to modest flats, supported by her children and ex-husband Sweeny. In the 1980s, she popped up on TV like a bizarre horse racing segment on After Dark, where she abruptly exited, citing fatigue, hinting at her waning vitality. By the 1990s, frailty led to a nursing home placement. A final fall in 1993 broke her hip, not neck, as some accounts err, leading to complications that ended her life on July 25th at age 80. Buried beside Sweeny, who passed months earlier, her story endures. Her saga inspires modern retellings, from the 2022 BBC Amazon miniseries A Very British Scandal, starring Claire Foy, to ongoing podcasts exploring her as a proto-feminist icon challenging double standards. In 2024, new archival releases sparked fresh debates on the Headless Man's identity, with experts using AI-enhanced photo analysis to bolster the Sandys theory. Margaret once quipped that life's essentials were a poodle and 3 strands of pearls. Scandal or not, she embodied unapologetic glamour. If this tale intrigued you, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more dives into history's most captivating figures.